Hey guys, Casey here and welcome back to another video. Sorry it's a little wobbly. I was not going to try and fit a tripod in my greenhouse, but I wanted to give you guys an update of the plants and kind of go over a couple of things that, since I have the opportunity to show you, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so one of the new major differences is this extra light we got. And we like it so much that we're going to get another one and put it on the other side. But it's another full spectrum light. I've noticed that the plants actually do quite enjoy it. In fact, I had neglected these onions unintentionally, and I felt bad. I forgot to water them. And for some reason, they were not happy with the light. So they are now standing at attention, happy as can be. And this is one of the things I wanted to show you. When especially growing onions and they start getting their second leaf, like this one, for instance, has two coming out now. And I'll zoom in as much as I can so you can see. So it has two coming out the base there now, right? When they start to do that, they'll look like this. So they're looped over like that. And when they loop over, I have noticed that they don't stand up. And I can understand why, to be honest. Like this one, for instance. He's got the loop coming through. The second leaf is pulling out of the first one. I mean, it's literally growing out of it. So try not to overwater your plants or really mess with them too much, because they're just growing their second part. There's not much you can do about it. They will stand back up again when they're done with it. It might take them a little bit to, pep back up, but they're just growing. This cup looks a little squealy. There's stuff happening all over the place, but there's so many of them that are growing their second leaves, or sprouts, or however you want to put it. I can't really call that a leaf, but this one you can tell just kind of recently came out and came apart, so they're working on standing up. And I've noticed that it's just the onions that do that. I haven't really noticed the leeks have a problem. So this is the first round of onions that I had done. They're doing pretty darn good. So yeah, just try not to freak out if you're growing onions for the first time and you don't understand why they look so wonky and sad and they're flopped all over the place. If you see them with those loops, they're just growing, and they'll stand back up again. They'll be all right. Here is the second round we had just done. They're coming up. They're doing pretty good. That one could use some water. Now, I actually have a pretty hard time not overwatering plants. I am really bad with my watering. I either forget to do it or I do too much. And you can tell when you start to do too much. Like these guys, for instance, when you get that white mildew on there, like here, that's too much water. Too moist constantly, and it's starting to grow some mildew, some mold. You don't want to reach that point, really. And I don't know what it is about this back cup here. You can see the color difference in the soil. That's because that one always drains really well. I don't know why. Give a little water there. Looks like our Sweet Williams could use some water. They popped up finally. So at this point, I just try to water and get it moist enough to where I know it is going to soak down just a little bit and feed those little baby roots some water. I mean, it's not rocket science, but I still do it wrong. And you can see these onions are popping up their first loop. They'll end up like this once they fully come out. So I think it's just absolutely awesome how It's the seed that comes out of the ground and the root goes down. That's just so cool. These guys look like they might need some water. Nah. They aight. So those guys are doing good. Our King Richard leeks. They're not. I don't know why. They're not popping up. And I didn't have much luck with them last year either, so just is what it is. The American flag leeks are up. They're doing good. And then the second round of the Utah sweet onions are also doing good. They're starting to pop up. These guys are leaning over a little bit. They may not be getting enough light. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with them. Can't forget to give them a little shake shake. Make them think it's a blustery day outside. Oh, I was going to give up on the bee balms and plant them again, but look at that right there. Isn't that awesome? I finally got a bee balm to come out. Oh, we got two. There's another one. I didn't even notice that one there. Nice. Here is some more plants in this little round, I don't know, water drainer thing. So more red beard bunching onions. These guys were doing pretty darn sad until I put them over here. They definitely like these new lights. You can see them growing that way a little bit more towards the main part of the light. When I just pulled the boards out the other day, you know, the boards I had running across the center here. And once I put this light in, everything started to grow towards it. I did replant, I'm sorry, I did transplant the Romanesco broccolis because they both got pretty big pretty quickly. So it was time for them to get their own cups. I don't know why I'm watering that. That was a bad move. That's just out of habit. See? Not perfect. I didn't need to water him because this right here is a sign of too much water. He's not happy with me. I'm so sorry, Romanesco broccoli. That actually might kill him. I didn't mean to. Just out of habit. So, the onions are doing pretty good. It's kind of interesting, you know, I just realized aside from the bee balm, the sweet williams, and the one Romanesco broccoli, that this is all onions. This cup is not doing so good. I don't know why. He's had these little nubs popping out here for a couple weeks now, and they haven't grown at all. Okay, the Chinese chives are coming back in full force. Look at those guys. I do have some cat grass down here for the cats that they all think that they get every time I even touch the greenhouse. They're like, oh, snack time. I've got some lettuce. This is black-seeded Simpson lettuce. It's doing pretty good. And, of course, more onions. These Hishiko bunching onions, I actually replanted. Remember last video how I said there are some times when this is the second thing I wanted to show you, by the way. I had said there are some times when guessing how much soil to put on top of a seed, I have guessed wrong and have clearly gotten to the point to where it's not enough soil. Yeah, I did that with the first round of onions completely. All of them. Just when the soil settled, it just clearly wasn't enough. So I have added more soil to it over time, but it might not be enough to save it. They're not dead yet. They could definitely use some water though. They're very, very dry. You can see there that those ones are definitely way too wet. We're not even going to mess with them. Here is the other Romanesco broccoli. Growing a little wonky, a little sad. Look at that sad, sad leaf. He says he needs some water. ASAP. Chinese pink celery's back here. They're doing pretty good. So these first two cups here are shishito peppers. Some more bunching onions. This is the Purple Beauty bell peppers, and they're getting their first true leaves. Look at that. Oh, so cute. And then we have the eggplants, and they've gotten their first true leaves. These here. And it was so cute. They came out so fuzzy. I mean, I know eggplant leaves are pretty fuzzy in general, but oh my goodness. Back behind that is the mini bell peppers. It's kind of interesting how they're growing up in stages. We've got one that has its first true leaf coming. This one who's just a little baby. That one that's just sprouting up. And then the banana peppers. A couple of them have got their first true leaves. This one's slightly behind. And the second cup of banana peppers. So yeah, all in all, everything is doing pretty good. There's no complaints, really, much. Some of them are struggling. My first batch of onions are obviously struggling, but they will probably pull through just fine, so I'm not particularly worried about it. It just goes to show that not everything goes to plan, not everything goes well, nor am I perfect. Okay, so the plants are doing just fine. They're doing quite well, actually. I'm going to be starting tomatoes here real soon, so we'll do a video on that, and I will keep you guys posted. Next week I'll do another update on how the greenhouse is doing, and kind of take you guys along so you can see what it's like growing in a greenhouse. But anyways, thanks for joining in on this very short update video, and until next time, bye!